This episode is brought to you by our friends at Brooks Blooms, your all-in-one landscaping solution.
Brooks Bloom's three-step landscaping experience offers a seamless journey from design to construction and ongoing care, ensuring your outdoor space thrives year-round.
Visit brooksblooms.com today to embark on your landscaping journey, where every step is a step towards a vibrant and beautiful outdoor entertaining space.
This podcast is presented by Tab. Best time in sport with the best app in sport. Tab, we're on.
G'day everyone, welcome back to another massive episode of the Ads and Nugs podcast. As always, my name is Adam, and with me, fresh off having 18 tackles in an enormous semi-final, my best friend Josh Dunkley. How you going, mate?
I'm good, thanks, mate. Thank you for the intro, but also joining me is a guy that's fresh into a grand final and has just signed a one-year deal. So well done to you too, mate.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it's been a good week.
Yes.
Oh, that has to be Brado, because we're about to lose him because he told us he was leaving us again middle of the episode. So, thanks for that, Brado. Why is it taking to the prelim final week to add in sound effects for the podcast?
Well, that's what we do. We build to the end. You build to the grand final. If I came out with that stuff in round one, I wouldn't have any magic left for the pointy end of the season.
Fair enough. That just sets the expectation for next year and beyond. So, thank you, Brado. How's your week been, mate? Obviously had a good week footy-wise, but did you get up to anything exciting?
Yeah, it's been good. It's the weather up here has been very nice in Brizzy, but I haven't done a lot outside of footy stuff, and I did a little bit of work experience last Wednesday, which was nice. So the buyer's agent stuff that we obviously had Dimitri on here, who helped you out and you and Kimmy out, and he's helping a few others too. So I've been doing a little bit of that on the side, but other than the buyer's agent side of things, I haven't done a lot. Just cruised around, went out for dinner with Tipper last night, actually to a restaurant that I should tell you about because you should try this when you come to Brisbane. It's called Golden Avenue, which is a nice little new restaurant here in Brizzy. But yeah, nothing else springs to mind. I've been a little bit sore over the last couple of weeks, so no golf or anything like that. So just focusing on footy and looking forward to what's to come. But what about you? You been up to much down there in Melbourne?
Not really. I'll start by saying the weather hasn't been overly great here because you seem to start by saying it's always good up there. We did have a pretty good weekend, but I think it's turning a little bit this week. As I look outside, it looks like it's about to rain, which is great. But no, not too much, mate. Obviously, we're well and truly into our NFL. So it's usually around, so it's obviously, as everyone knows, we film this on a Tuesday. I'm still trying to catch up on my sleep because I get up at the crack of dawn earlier than the crack of dawn, get up at the 3 on the Monday. So, yeah, haven't really been doing anything other than managing my 6 fantasy teams, and you and me and obviously Lockie got our first win this week in the American Aces League, which is enormous because that's fair to say we haven't probably played too well the first 2 weeks, our players. So any win we'll take. So basically that's all I've been doing, mate. I haven't really been doing much.
And signing contracts, that's another thing you've been doing too, mate. So well done again. Give us a little bit of an insight into the process and how it's been going. Like now that it's obviously done, you can talk about how it was. Have you got any insight for our loyal supporters out there?
Yeah, obviously super pumped. It's been obviously in the works a little bit last couple of weeks in particular in terms of, coming to an agreement, which is, great. Obviously, I announced it yesterday. Club announced it on the socials, and it's I'm super pumped. I'm super grateful that they're backing me in, and I know it hasn't been the year that I've wanted individually. I did a little bit of a sit down within the club, and if you're bored, mate, go and have a listen. It's pretty boring. It's the same old crap that I spin, but it was. It's nice to know that they can back me in and give me another chance at getting back out there next year, and hopefully I can contribute and be a part of team success. And ultimately, that's why I continue to want to go, because I see the potential that we have within our group, and the fact that this year hasn't been ideal. There's a lot of fire in my belly still. So super grateful and even more grateful that I was able to qualify for the VFL and sneak in that half a game against the Carlton Blues to qualify me for a finals run. So it's been a good last few weeks, in terms of the signing and then being able to play. So super grateful.
Yeah, I must say, mate, it's been good to see you back playing. I know it's not at obviously AFL level, but VFL level, and seeing the signature plays that you and I used to combine on with the running out of the centre bounce with the handball receive and nearly knocked one over from 50 or 60 on the weekend, but someone took it on the line. I was so angry at that. I knew that. I remember when I used to be there and I used to handball it to you and someone would get on the line, you'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
I actually didn't. What going back and watching that play, your tape, I didn't realise it was would have been a goal. So
yeah,
it wasn't until I watched it. So I was like, Walks can't do that. But no, he's a ball of energy. It's great to see him up and about. But no, I appreciate it, mate. In terms of how I'm feeling, the game on the weekend, in terms of feeling within myself and my body, probably the best that I felt. You haven't felt as good as that since basically last year. So yeah, super grateful. It's crazy that, the last 4 years now haven't really been playing or training this time of the year. So it still feels a little bit weird that going into training, and today we had a bit of a main session and preparing for a game when, we see a lot of our AFL boys who are out, they're coming in and starting their off-season training. So it's great because obviously shows that your team's obviously really good, and to be a part of a grand final side, it's going to be really good. Southport are a very, very good side.
So we might as well talk about the prelim, and obviously I'll talk about our semi-final as well. Actually, sorry, before that, we'll do our segments. We'll get into our segments. Right. Your bloom of the week, mate. Let's do our bloom of the week first up.
Oh, I think I gave you the bloom of the week a few weeks ago, didn't I? I was going to give it to you again. The Brooks bloom of the week for your 18 tackles, your record-breaking 18 tackles. But I feel like I've already given it to you, so I don't want to give you another one. And, I reckon I gave it to you for the most courageous. So, anyway, I'm going to steer clear of the 18 tackles. That's a bit of a half mention, which is remarkable for what it's worth. Obviously, an AFL record, so well done on that. But I'm going my boy on the weekend in the Group 1, Mr. Brightside.
Oh, yes.
What a run. As soon as I was, so obviously we played our game and, we went into the change room and all the AFL boys there that obviously weren't playing. So we're all celebrating, super pumped. And Jay and Lath come over, and obviously we love our horses. And first thing Jay said, gave me a hug. First thing he said to me was, Mr. Brightside won. I was like, no freaking way. And obviously went back and watched the tape. Damn, what a run. What a run by Mr. Brightside. So he's my bloom of the week.
Yeah, it's a good one. I honestly thought he was no chance, to be honest. In that field, I was like, nah. If there's any horse that's not going to win this, it's probably going to be Brightside, because I watched its first. Wait, was it first up or second up?
Second up.
Yeah, second up. I watched its first up and I was like, nah, no way. And then, came out and just led all the way, mate, and was gritty at the end and got it done. So, unbelievable run. Good bloom of the week. My bloom of the week, I don't know if you watched this game because it was NRL, but it was the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah,
Did you watch the Broncos?
Yep.
Mate, I think they had, Canberra had 3 opportunities to win the game. And then it was like a review, and then it got turned over, and then there was a missed shot. Mate, it was against all odds. So my bloom of the week is going to the Brisbane Broncos because of that performance, and they now have a home prelim, and that's going to set them up
huge
for a grand final berth as well. So depending on who they play, it could be the Panthers again, which is unbelievable to think after their start to the season. But I'm going down the NRL path and going with the Brisbane Broncos this week because I thought that win I was glued to my seat that whole afternoon watching that game.
Yeah, that was good. Hopefully that's against Storm as well. Storm obviously had a great win against, not against all odds, but a bit of adversity with obviously our boy Jerome Hughes is out with a wrist injury. Ryan Pappenhausen's out. Nelson Asaf Solomona's out. They've got some really good players out, Storm. So for them to get the job done, sets up a home prelim as well. So hopefully it's a Broncos Storm grand final. That'd be nice. But it's good bloom of the week. Well done, mate.
All right, we'll move on to our tab segment. Let's talk about our multi last week. I think the only leg to get up was my leg, was it not?
Yeah, if I quickly have a look at it here, it was Tyreek Hill, touchdown. Who else was it? Jamar Chase. Didn't have it. Debo
got
had it, yes, which was probably the hardest one out of all of them. So well done in that regard.
Yep.
But yeah, we're absolutely nowhere at the moment. Probably more so me. So I'll leave it up to you, mate.
Well, we've got we're cooking up a little win multi this week. So we're picking 4 teams from the round of games of NFL. And we're going with, so this is it now, Jacksonville head-to-head, which is $1.90. The LA Chargers to beat Denver, $1.70. Arizona head-to-head with San Fran. And Cincinnati to beat Minnesota. So some juicy odds. We've gone a bit conservative, but hopefully this one gets us up and going for a big podcast next week, which should be grand final week. So, mate, it's our last one of the year next week too. So it's going to be a big one. And hopefully we can kick off the week with a win on the multi front.
Well, I hope so. And you said conservative. I wouldn't necessarily say conservative because we've chosen Arizona away from home against San Fran. And we've also chosen Cincinnati away from home against Minnesota, who have just lost Joe Burrow for the next 3 months. So
true.
Will be interesting to see, but I'm confident, as I am always confident until it lets us down. But hopefully.
All right. Well, we'll see how we go. Thanks to Tab, as always, for all of their support. And as always, ads, gamble responsibly, mate.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
All right. We'll move on. Let's get into the games that we had on the weekend. So you obviously prelim final against the Box Hill Hawks. Actually, I want to talk about Luke Breust just quickly. That was something that my heart just dropped when I saw that happen on the TV, and I can't imagine what it would have been like being there and on the ground. Like, were you close when that happened? Were you in the moment?
Yeah, so I was run because there was a kick inside 50. I was getting down to actually outnumber, and I just heard all the boys basically go, "Oh no, umpire, you need to stop the game." And then just a couple of boys said they could just see how he twisted, and it's quite sad, quite emotional for him because it's his last game he'll ever play at AFL/VFL level, representing Hawthorn Football Club, and one of the most underrated players that I reckon was in my time of playing footy, and obviously he's a few years older than me, but absolute superstar, multiple time All-Australian, leading goal kicker at Hawthorn, I reckon, a couple of times, premiership player. He's from New South Wales, which isn't traditionally an AFL sporting background. Like he's had a remarkable career, like an incredible career, where he'll go down as I've got no doubt in the Hawthorn, Hawthorn life member, and just being a superstar for their footy club. It's quite sad to go out the way that he did. So, he got all the best wishes from all the Bulldogs boys as he was heading off, and wish him all the best with everything going forward, and wish him all the best with his recovery.
Yeah, it was shocking to see, and as I said, the heart dropped on TV when I saw that because, oh mate, it's such a sad way to go out. And it makes me think, like, I don't know, these days, like, it's hard to really go out the way that you sort of want to with injuries, with form, whatever it might be. And he's a guy that you'd just love to see go out, on his own terms. But now seeing that on injury, made me feel so sad. So all the best to him. Obviously a massive part of the AFL and the game that it has been. And he set the standard for a lot of young players out there too to look up to. So well done on an unbelievable career. From the Ads and Dunks podcast, we wish him all the best.
Yeah, that we do. He, one other point about him, I reckon he helped, I wouldn't say like solidify the small forward role, but he, the game could have got lost a little bit to that role in particular, especially during the time of, I think back to Ruffy and Buddy and Brennan Favola and all these key forwards, and he just become like a superstar in that role, in that, the way that he went about it, like the way he could get up the ground, get back, hit the scoreboard, but have almost 20 touches a game and all of those disposals be super effective and efficient and score involvements. Like, he was a true star. And as I just said, extremely underrated throughout my time of playing at the highest level the past 15 years. Someone that you just know that how good of a player he is, but he never really gets spoken about. So, yeah, I reiterate everything you say. He's an absolute superstar.
Moving on to your game, give us a bit of an insight into how you felt it went. There was obviously a little bit of an arm wrestle early on, but then sort of kicked away and was pretty comfortable or convincing victory in the end of the game. So how was it out there? How'd you feel? You obviously touched on yourself, but what was the feeling like amongst the group?
I mentioned last week the 4 best sides, in my opinion, are in the prelim, and Box Hill have been, I think they finished second. So, clearly showed that early on. They're at the state league level, very good contest the ball side led by Huswaite, McKenzie. I think Huswaite's a very good player. I told him to as well when I was out there afterwards. Very impressed by the way that he goes about it. For him to not be playing, regular AFL games shows firstly how good Hawthorn's midfield is, but I genuinely think he could be a very, very good player for a very long time at AFL level. Had a bit of challenges there because Ned Reeves is also a very good ruckman as well. So, it was, I think that was kind of where they were able to score a little bit. They scored a couple of times from centre bounce by dictating us a little bit. To the boys' credit, like, we've got a really good midfield group at VFL level. Got some great VFL listed midfielders, Billy Crofts and Cooper Craig Peters, who really stand out. And then our back six, I feel like they just defended really well. And playing the last 3 games at this level, that's clearly, in my opinion, where our biggest strengths are, and that's our back six and the way they connect. Certainly felt like we were able to get on top in the third quarter when they came, and kind of took the foot off the pedal a little bit in the last and let them kick a couple goals towards the end. I think boys are in, self-survival mode to make sure they're fit and firing for the granny. But, yeah, extremely happy we were able to win the game. And, I said last week, actually not last week, when I first knew I was obviously playing in the VFL final series, that the opportunity to play in a grand final for some silverware for the footy club is something that you just never would take for granted, whether it's AFL or VFL. And I'm just super grateful that we're there and we're going to have an opportunity. We haven't played Southport in a regular season game in 2 years. They beat us last year in a preliminary final. It's the only time we've played them, but in a regular season game, we haven't played them, and now we get them in a grand final. So really, really looking forward to it. And I feel like we're carrying some really good momentum into that game, as they are as well. So should be a great game.
I think you touched on it, playing AFL or VFL grand finals. Like, I think any level grand final is massive. Like, it's such a sick build-up. Everyone gets around you, all your supporters. What was I saw the vision that the doggies posted as you were walking into the rooms. You had the fans either side at Whitten Oval there. It would have felt pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you had Georgie in your hands. Like, it was pretty cool to have everyone there and singing the song, mate. And stuff was, yeah. Yeah.
I think the best thing about it is, I've been in that position where, whether I was at Collingwood or the Bulldogs, when I was playing AFL, obviously been playing AFL, and our VFL boys are going really well. Like, the way the boys really get around you and them makes it even more special. So I think that's the best thing you love about it is, you can see the genuine excitement and happiness when you walk into the rooms after the game, and you see, Bonds and Libba and Jace Johannesson and all these stars that have won flags for the Western Bulldogs. Obviously, you're in that team as well. Like, be there and be extremely proud and happy and celebrating because they get to see, an opportunity for more silverware for the footy club. So that side's really special. Obviously, the fans, so grateful because, with the AFL boys not being around, we had a really, really good turnout. And really getting around us from the get-go felt, certainly like a big home final for us. There was a lot of crowd going our way, and hopefully that's the case again this week, out at Icon Park. But never take that for granted. The thing that I kind of have to get used to walking off the ground after a VFL game is that you're allowed to jump straight onto the field. So getting bombarded by everyone left, right and centre, I feel really bad because everyone's asking for photos and autographs, and I'm just respectfully saying, no, I can't. Like, I want to celebrate with my teammates and I want to hold my daughter in my hand. I've kind of got to get used to that because that certainly has happened the last couple of weeks. But I may come across as being a bit rude, if you want to call it. But believe me, in my heart of hearts, I'd love to stand out there and sign and do all these things. But if I do, then I'd be standing there. My teammates would be singing a song, and I won't be able to do anything. If being able to celebrate. So, to answer your question, it's been great. It's been really cool to have the fans really get around us and really embrace the last couple of weeks that we've had building up to this week.
Those moments are ones that you'll treasure forever, mates. And I'm sure that, this week's going to be very exciting for you too. So we'll move on to the AFL finals games that were this week. Was there anything from the Hawks Adelaide game you wanted to talk about?
No real specific thing, but in general, couple of things. I just think probably seen 4 of the great finals games by an individual in Jai Newcomb that he's played. And that's going back to last year against us and then against Port Adelaide. I've seen how he's been ranked the number 1 player on the ground from a stats point of view. But the thing that I love about it is you don't have to look at the stats to know that he's dominated, in my opinion. It's not like you've got to go to the stats and be like, oh, look how good he's been. Like you can just tell he makes them so much better. And both games this year in the final series for them, he's just been incredible. Like from the get-go, he had 5 of the first 6 centre bounce clearances on the weekend. Like he just is someone that's built for finals footy, and it's a real pleasure to watch. He's going to be a real handful for some of those Geelong mids. But yeah, I think it's one of those ones where the other point I wanted to make was Adelaide will certainly leave this and think, I think they'll take a lot of learnings and lessons from it and realise that the regular season is one part of the year and then finals footy is just completely different. Like, as you and I were saying, and I reckon we're backing each other up here the last couple of weeks, like the only concern there was Hawthorn have been around the mark like the last couple of years and played in some really good finals games where Adelaide, it was their first finals appearance in a couple of years. I think it was been, 8 years, I think we figured it out to be.
Yeah.
And I just feel like at times it kind of looked like that in a way. So I reckon they'll take great learnings from it because, as you said, regular season, mate, they were freaking the benchmark side. They were formidable and couldn't get past them. And I reckon they'll take some huge learnings from this and take it into next year and could come out as premiership favourites. Like, and that wouldn't surprise me. And I wouldn't blame anyone if they were to pick Adelaide next year to win the premiership, because I reckon that'll be great lessons for them going forward. They'll take.
Yeah, I agree. I think, everyone will look at them and say, oh, they didn't take their moments, all this kind of stuff, dive into all the bad things that they didn't do. But it's experience, mate. For their group, they had a lot of players this year that were, above and beyond where anyone probably thought they would be. And I just feel like they'll, as you said, they'll take all that experience and learning forward with them. And next year they'll be a force to be reckoned with. So one guy that I wanted to talk about from Hawthorn is, and I don't think this guy's getting talked about enough, to be honest, is Sam Butler. I think the role that he's come in and he's playing for the team the last 2 games. So he actually came in for Luke Breust as a sub. And then this week he started and they put Jath as sub. Mate, the role that he's playing is that little small forward, and the pressure that he's putting on is allowing a lot of their other guys to get to work and play their role as well. I just think he's been a really important cog in their team over the last few weeks. And it wouldn't surprise me, to see Geelong this week put a little bit of work into him. Like, as in not allow him to play the way that he has been, because I feel like he's been really important for him. I'm just trying to pull up his stats from last week.
Yeah, he's had 15 2 goals. 15 2 goals, 9 tackles.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So, I mean, I love a pressure player. But he's kicked 2 goals off the back of having 9 tackles. So 20 pressure acts as well. So yeah, I just wanted to give him a shout out. He was nearly my bloom of the week, but the Broncos had an unbelievable win. So that had to be, but I just wanted to talk about him because I think a lot of people now might watch him and see what he's doing. And I feel like the Cats will be checking him out and making sure they're on top of him.
Yeah. Another guy at Hawthorn who gets a lot of attention because of probably the way that he looks, is Josh Weddle. And, mate, he is another – like I seen this call by someone, I don't know who it was, and it was saying how he could be a top 10 player in the league. And I wouldn't argue that, like, at all. I think because of how good Hawthorn's back six have been going, there's no point in trying to, you know, put someone in there and try and make it work, kind of, because he's obviously missed a fair chunk of the season. But for him to come in and played a bit of forward and then played wing, and I reckon he went to wing in the second half last week against the Giants. Mate, he is a gun. Like, he is a gun. He could have genuinely kicked 5 goals on the weekend if he just kicked straight and finished off. But he's such a good player, and he makes them so much better. And like, I keep forgetting, we're forgetting Will Day still to come into the side, which he obviously won't this year. But I'm like, that's just another weapon, and he's like the class in their midfield, like guy that's kind of somewhat in that mold. Probably isn't quite there yet, but he's certainly a gun. Who's underrated? He's Josh Ward. He's like the class, the craft, the nice left footer out of the middle, because you know you got Newcomb and Warple getting to work. You throw in Josh Ward, who's going under the radar as well. But they have such a really good side, man. Like, they're going to be a powerhouse for a very long time, I reckon.
Potentially Zach Merritt as well, by all the rumours that are going around.
Mate. Yeah, I'm hearing everyone's going to Hawthorn. Like, that's what I keep seeing in the rumours. But yeah, they're going to. They're a great team to watch. I love watching. Like, when you're say it's the middle of the year and you're not leaving the house and you're watching footy all weekend, you think of sides that, you know, there's a handful of sides you watch. Hawthorn's, like, every time you see them, I got to watch them. Like, they're unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, totally agree. Moving on, we'll talk about our game just quickly.
Yes.
I mean, it was a really good win for us, obviously, on the scoreboard. It was weird, though, like, throughout the night, felt like we were in that arm wrestle the whole time. Like, it didn't really feel like we were putting the game away until, you know, the third quarter. We kicked a few in a row. And then the last quarter, sort of time got away. But it was just a nice way to bounce back, I think, after the week before, and talked about moments and stuff the week before that we didn't do as well as what we would have liked. And I think this week those moments were a lot better. So it was nice to be able to recognise that and implement it into the game. But yeah, credit to the Suns, mate. Like, I remember the first, I think it was like 10, 15 minutes, and I was like, geez, like, it's a final. Like, it's a big final. The ball was humming everywhere. The pressure was up. Like, it was. So the Suns, like, mate, the way that they've played this year, absolute hats off to them. They're going to learn a lot, like Adelaide. We talked about them, but I think the experience that the Suns have had is incredible. And I said to a few of their guys after the game, like, don't be disappointed. Like, this, you've had an unbelievable season. Use this as learning, and you'll be back next year, bigger, better, and stronger. So yeah, it was a great fight. Awesome to be a Q clash in a semi-final, and, you know, in front of a packed house where a lot of their supporters turned up too. It was awesome to play in front of.
Yeah, I agree with you. I put them in the same boat as, or the category as, Adelaide in terms of the amount of learnings they'll get from that, and you know, for them to experience the run that they have had. And I wouldn't say they exceeded expectation, because they, you know, from basically opening round onwards, like, it was like, yeah, they're the real deal. So it's great to obviously have seen them make finals for the first time, and get to experience an away final, and then experience a final against obviously their neighbours, as in you guys. So pretty cool for them. You boys, I obviously watch all the games, and I felt like you were going to win quite comfortably, if you want to put it. I just feel like I'm a big believer, and as I touched on prior to just before about Adelaide and Hawthorn, I'm just a huge believer. You've got to be thereabouts for a long time and play finals footy. You very rarely see a team that doesn't just come out of nowhere and win. Like, it doesn't happen much. And I just had this feeling you guys are going to get it done. But part of that reason is two of your most important players, and in my opinion, they are huge barometers for you guys, is Cam Rayner and Zach Bailey. They just look. Zach Bailey, in fairness to him, played pretty well last week against Geelong, but Cam Rayner, he's the one. Like when he gets in around the ball and does what he does and breaks tackles and gets involved in scoring chains, like he looks like top 10 player in the competition. Like it must have been nice to see him up and about, up close, but give you confidence now going into a huge final against Collingwood where no one's going to pick you guys. That he can, build that, continue that momentum and hopefully lead the charge for you boys.
He is. He's one of our most important players. I agree with everything you just said. The way that he throws himself at the contest, but also then can get the ball and take on about 5 or 6 guys and then feed it out or kick it forward. Like it's unbelievable to watch and see firsthand, to be honest. Like I said to him yesterday, I think, just like the way that when he comes in and he does that, it genuinely puts you on edge. Like as a group, it puts us on edge. It puts the other team on edge because they're thinking, shit, he might be coming or whatever it is. Like he's a bull, mate. He's a bull, and you wouldn't want to get in his way when he's running full steam. So if he can continue to do that for us, this week and into the future, like he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Like I just feel like his impact on games is massive when he can turn up and play the way that he does.
Oh, absolutely. And as I said, he's going to be a huge for him to be able to continue that momentum this week. Another guy that I haven't seen play for a while come in and play really well. I thought he played really well was the Big O, and I reckon he adds a lot for you guys. You obviously probably get some first-hand dominance around centre bounce. I know Jared Witts is great ruckman, extremely good player. But I think the Big O really, really helps you guys, and it must have been nice to see him up close again. And, now that hopefully he can be a part of a win this week and play in a granny.
Yeah, well, it's his body, mate, that's sort of been the trouble thing for him this year. And unfortunately, that's, I guess, the nature of the game sometimes. And he's been frustrated, but it's nice to get him back. He's one of those guys that just, when you talk about substance of clubs or culture of clubs, like he's the guy for us. Like he's our culture. You look at him and everyone would know, like that's our trademark. That's what we stand by. That's what we all want to work for, because the man that he is just so unique, but also just an unbelievable leader. So to have him back out on the field and playing the way that he does just gives us that, extra target forward. And he played a really important role for us on the weekend. I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, he definitely did. Last one is your 18 tackles. I mean, you can't just brush past this. I mean, you're probably sick to death of hearing it because it's all that's been spoken about the last few days. But I mean, it's an incredible achievement. Like I said before, you broke the record for most in a final. I think Jimmy Bartell had the most, which was 16 in the granny a few years ago. A long time ago now. A few years ago, 2025. I just thought then because freaking so you must be extremely proud. I mean, it's no surprise that someone like you is the one who breaks the record because the type of player that you are. But you're such an important part to that team. And I think seen this thing this week where Ryan Lester come out and said, you're the best recruit the Brisbane Lions have ever had, basically, in his time. And, mate, that is a huge statement because Lachie Neale is a recruit, Joe Danaher is a recruit. Like, it's a pretty big call, and I wouldn't argue that either. Biasley would say that because you know how much I love you, but you must be pretty proud that you're able to go out there and have a huge impact.
Yeah, I mean, I remember talking to Fags early in the week and midfield coach Cam Breust about obviously the week leading into the Gold Coast game, and I was pretty disappointed with how me personally, but also us as a team, managed Rowley and Anderson in that game that they pumped us in down on the Gold Coast. So, on Monday night, I was watching Vision and doing all that kind of stuff. But Tuesday, I think Wednesday, Fags called me and Brucey called me, and they said that they wanted me to do the role. And I just said to him, like, I'm happy to do, mate, I'll do anything to help us win the game. Like, if I can play that role and we can win, no worries at all. Like, semi-final, you want to get on to the next stage. And the same thing goes this week. Like, it's every week for me. I'm not looking to break records or, get 30 touches. All I'm focused on is just process and doing my role for the team. So to be able to do that on the weekend, it meant a lot to me. Like just to be able to go out there and because I felt like the pressure was sort of on. Rowley's such an important player for the Gold Coast. And if I let him have the impact that he had against us in round 20 or whatever it was, like they win and we lose, and it's on me, like, to get that done. So I felt like I was really on edge going into it, and just really wanted to perform well and do that for the team, because that would help us win the game. So to be able to do that and come away with a win was, as I said, it meant a lot, and it's nice to be moving on to the prelim final now.
Yeah, no, that's nice and humbly spoken. You don't have to say that to me, everything you just said, because I know that about you. No doubt there'll be a role this week at some sort for you to go out there and hopefully have 19 tackles, which would be great. But no, well done. Obviously, great performance. And, you don't, like, I think you've played 4 less years than me, and you've now been in definitely more finals than me. And I know you don't take that for granted, and something that I am envious of. But at the same time, extremely proud of being able to watch you go and do that. So I've got no doubt you won't be taking, playing in another prelim final for granted, because they are, I think everyone talks about whoever's gone to a granny, and I've been fortunate enough to go to 2 of them. You always talk about the prelim final and how hard they are to win. So for you to be able to get to another one, I've got no doubt you're extremely proud. So well done on the weekend and winning.
Thank you, mate. It is. We might as well move into the prelim and talk about the game. It is. It's an absolute honour, one, to be there. Like, to be playing in another prelim, you don't take it for granted any day of the week. But yeah, they are. I feel like the crowd is more supporter based than a grand final, because there's a lot of corporates and that go to. So
Definitely.
you just know that it's going to be hectic. You won't be able to hear each other out there, like Collingwood prelim final. Like, it just doesn't get bigger than that with their supporters and the support they have. So we're all excited, mate. And yeah, I think I said it last week, but at the end of the day, the best team will win, and they deserve to be playing in the grand final. So we're going to throw everything at them. They're going to throw everything at us, and yeah, we'll shake hands at the end and move on either way. But just an absolute honour to be back in another prelim final, and be able to give it a really hot crack. To be
it's going to be obviously a great game. And as I said before, probably won't be many people. Oh, there'll be people backing you boys in, but I'd imagine it'd be largely Collingwood's way. And as you said, rightfully so, because they've been awesome all year round. Even when they had their doubters, they were able to prove them wrong, and you now know finals experience. They've certainly got that in spades the last few years. Do you take learnings from, because you played them once this year, didn't you? Once or twice?
Twice.
Okay. And do you take, what are the learnings you take from those? Like, what can you take from those games that you can maybe talk about going into this game?
Yeah, good question. We played them up here. I think they beat us comfortably. And then we played them down in Melbourne and we got the chocolates there. I don't know, that you've got to look at more the recent form, because I reckon they've sort of changed the way that they've played more recently than the last time that we played them. And finals are it's a different kettle of fish. Like, teams are going to play or throw different things at you than compared to what they do in the regular season, because they know, they've learnt things throughout the year too. So to answer your question, I don't really know. Like, it's hard to say what they do because we haven't faced them, for a few weeks, and they're playing different footy. Like the Adelaide game that we watched, the first final, was the way that they were kicking the ball inside the corridor was just insane. And they were just pulling off these kicks that were really risky, but they're all on the same page. So yeah, there's so many strings to their bow, and I feel like they, if they can get on top and they can get the crowd on, in their favor, it's going to be hard to stop. So we're just going to have to beat our very best and turn up with the pressure and our game plan that we want to bring, and hopefully it just comes out on top in the end. But as you said, they're a force to be reckoned with, and if we can't bring the heat, then I'm sure they'll probably run away with the victory. But yeah, we're going to give it everything.
What's the plan this week? When do you guys come down?
I think we're heading down Thursday afternoon, so we'll be down there Thursday night, and then captain's run Friday morning, and then just time to chill before the 5 o'clock game on Saturday, which is a great time slot. I love playing at 5 o'clock.
It is a good time. So it gives you a chance to get back to Brizzy if you guys are to win the game. Well, good luck, mate. Hopefully you boys win. It'd be unreal, because that'll be 3 grannies in a row for you, the Brisbane Lions, which is a remarkable record. But yeah, wishing you all the very best, mate. Hopefully you get the job done.
Thank you, mate. We'll move on to the other prelim final. Who are you tipping in this one? I'm genuinely torn between the two at the moment. I still think Hawthorn, like they're on this run and they've got this momentum that's sort of given them a really, really big chance. But then I think of Geelong and their experience and their maturity and their backline. Their backline for me is their place where I reckon the game's going to be won or lost. Like their backs versus the Hawthorn forwards. What are your thoughts?
It's hard to really favour one side unanimously because they're both such good sides. And Hawthorn actually finished 8th, which is crazy because I don't remember the last time an 8th place team made the prelim. We finished 7th in that 21. Well, did we finish 7th? Yeah. No, we finished 5th. That's the lowest we finished.
We finished 5th.
You finished 7th in 2016. So for them to finish 8th and make a prelim, like it's pretty remarkable. But no, I can see where the strengths for Hawthorn lies and the momentum they're carrying into this. They've played 2 away games and won them both. But yeah, I was the idiot at the start of the year that didn't back in Geelong from the get-go. And, I just think I don't know who the premiership favourite is, but in my opinion, they should be. I think because of the way that they've just been able to perform in the games where they need to get the job done. And they convinced me even more in the qualifying final. They just looked so damn good against you boys. And that's how highly I rate you guys. But they just, they looked unreal. Their backline, as you said, is their strength. What I love about what they do is they have a lot of players that play a role, like genuinely play a role on someone. And you rarely see that now. And they have that. And I love that. So they'll obviously, suss out who at Hawthorn they need a shut. I'd imagine John Newcombe would be one of them. Definitely one of them. But, and they will put in plans to try and do that. And if you can stop some of those players, it goes a long way to winning. And I just fully respect that about Geelong and the way that they've gone about it. So I'm quite comfortable in tipping Geelong, and I reckon they'll get the job done. But I'm hoping it's a really close game, and hopefully Hawthorn can bring some momentum.
Massive call. I'll just go against you for the fun of it. I'll tip the Hawks, but yeah, I agree. Everything you're saying, like they just find a way, Geelong, and they're all on the same page with everything that they do, and they've got players, like Baz and Max Holmes that can run and carry, and Brian Myers and Close and all these players and then you throw in like a Blitzarves who can play ruck or back or wing or forward, like just insane stuff. So I'm excited to watch this game. I think it's going to be an absolute cracker. And I honestly can't split them. Imagine him calling a draw. I'll call a draw and then Hawks to win in overtime.
Yeah, well, that's a big call. A draw and Hawks win in overtime. If you get that right, my gosh, man. I will freaking it's going to be a great game, and it's what's exciting is for you. I remember when I played in the prelims, my games were always second, so I love that. I love that. I could watch the first game and get a vibe and a sense of what the build-up's like, and watch it on TV, and then obviously playing my own one. So it's going to be a great game, but looking forward to the outcome, mate, and seeing who's playing off in the granny.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. All right, we'll move on to your granny, mate. Let's talk about the big grand final this week, VFL grand final, before we wrap it up. How are you feeling? Talk to us about, are you nervous? Are you excited? Like, what's the emotion like internally? I'm just talking about you.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited, man. I can't wait. I freaking cannot wait. How am I feeling? I haven't really thought about it, to be totally honest. I won't really until our main session. We have a main session on Thursday night because the VFL squad come in. But yeah, I reckon when we're talking about Southport and going through their team, we will, have a bit of nerves there. But yeah, I'm just excited, mate. I really am. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be a great turnout. Hopefully 10 plus thousand people there. which I reckon it will be. I've got so many family and friends coming, which I cannot wait for. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to hurry up. The week's going really slow already. Once the NFL's done, it goes really slow. I count down to the Friday game and then wait for the Sunday. But yeah, just really looking forward to it. The boys are really building it up, and if we play to the level and the ability that we have the last 10, 15 weeks at VFL level, we're going to give ourselves a really good shot. But as I've touched on before with you, Southport, I think this is their 5th grand final in like 6 or 7 years. Like they really are one of the benchmark sides at VFL level, and they have quality across their team. Jacob Dawson won the JJ Liston for him yesterday, which obviously speaks volumes of him as a footballer. And yeah, they've got some real strengths across the field. So yeah, can't take that lightly. You got to really start the game well and hopefully get the job done.
The game's at Carlton. Is it at Visi or
Yep.
Icon Park? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sick.
Icon
It'll be
Park,
a sick
mate.
atmosphere down there. 10,000 plus. Well, I mean, if we lose, I'll probably come. But if we win, I'll be watching on TV for sure.
Yes.
So make sure you save me a ticket, mate. Do you have to what's the ticketing process like? Do you have to buy
Yeah,
them? What's the?
Yeah. Yep. So they went on sale today, so you got to buy the tickets.
I did that. Okay.
A lot of my mates brought heaps of tickets, and yeah, you got to buy them, man. But I'll have a ticket for you, please. You'll have VIP access for you. You're a freaking Bulldog legend, mate. Premiership winner. So I hope you're not there, which means you're obviously
Means we win
in Brisbane watching. So I hope you're not there. But no, I appreciate your support, mate.
I look forward to it, mate. All the best. We'll all here at the podcast. I'm sure all our fans will be tuning in as well. So all the best to you and the Doggies boys. I hope you get the chocolates. It'll be your first grand final win, hey?
Well, it would be, yeah. I would be, but I'm not thinking about that yet. Maybe I'm the bad luck, mate. I'm 0 from 8 or something,
No.
whatever it is. So
Don't be saying that. Don't be saying that.
I'm being very positive. I'm very positive, but I'm going to hold it internally until hopefully that final siren.
Oh, we look forward to watching and supporting you, mate. No matter what happens, we always love you. You know that.
Mm-hmm. I do, mate. Appreciate it. Would you rather finish off with
Yeah, let's
the
get
second last? Would you rather? All right.
it.
So this is an interesting one. Brado won't be there. I bet you. Probably have to be Harrow. He had a better answer than Brado anyway last week, so I can't wait for it. But Josh, would you rather never be able to keep anyone else's secrets or have someone tell all of your secrets?
Never be able to keep anyone else's secrets or be able to tell.
So if
all
I
your
told you-
secrets.
So let's just say, for instance, I don't know. I told you last week that I've re-signed and it wasn't getting announced to this week. And you're not allowed to say anything. No, you're not allowed to say it. But because of this, would you rather, you can't keep it. So you blurb it out to everybody. Or
and then
have
or
someone
everyone
tell
tells
all
my
of your secrets. Yep.
I'm taking the not being able to tell.
So you're going to be a rat and you're going to tell everyone
Yeah.
the really important secrets that they can't
Yeah,
get out. What
probably.
if it's like, oh mate, well, what is a really close friend or someone that him and his partner may be pregnant and they don't want anyone else to know, but you go and blab it out to everybody.
Well, I don't know. Can you swap and change a bit? Can you go like, I won't tell that one, but I'll tell this one?
Nope. It's either you can't keep anyone else's secrets or all of your secrets get known.
Oh, well, to be honest, I don't have many secrets, but yeah. What would you do?
It's not for me, mate. The segment's for you and Brado, so I'm going to leave it at that. Brado, Harrow, any of you there?
It's Eno. Harrow's gone, and
Oh.
Brado's still got the tour. But I think I go with Dunks. I'd rather just tell everyone else's secrets, not mine.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's the
you
easy
rats.
way to do it.
You
You'd
know
be
what?
the
I'll
same.
You would be
Don't
the
talk
same.
shit. You would be exactly the same.
No comment. It's not for me. No
Oh.
comment whatsoever.
All right, I've got
Oh,
one
good, mate.
question for
Well-
you. Oh, yeah, I got one
All right,
question
go.
for you before we go.
All right.
So we were having this discussion at the club, or I can't remember when it was. But do you think, talk about country versus city, we talk about country boys versus city boys. Do you think having your manual car license is like one of the most, not important, but like that is a telltale story of a country kid versus a city kid?
Well, yeah, I do. Yes. I reckon the answer is yeah, because I just do. Because you're taught manual. Like when I think of my friends that learnt manual, firstly, I don't have many because I'd like to say down amongst country, but it's not. I wouldn't necessarily say city, but obviously the suburbs. But no, I would relate that manual learning kids being country.
We were talking about this the other day. I was like, I'll bring it up on the podcast, Ask Adsy. So you're telling me you were an auto licensed driver?
Well, yeah. I had no choice, though. We only had a car that was auto, mate. We certainly weren't having a manual car. So, auto. I learnt on auto, but I know how to drive manual.
Okay. So going on from this, because I think the rule is that, correct me if you know, so you can drive a manual after a certain amount of years after getting your auto license. Is that
I think it's the full license. I believe it's your full license. You can drive anything.
Oh, so straight away. As soon as you get your full license.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Brado usually knows these things straight away, but he's obviously dogged us again.
How does that work? Because you haven't driven a manual car yet. You're going to go on the road and drive a manual when you turn 22.
Oh, I don't know, mate. I don't work at Vic Roads. I've got no idea.
So do you know how to drive a manual car?
Yeah, of course I do.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm very, very sure. I've driven manual a couple times, my friend. I've had no choice. But I had to drive manual.
What was the first time you got in a manual car? So you grew up, you drove an auto, you get into a manual car.
I had no idea what I was doing.
Like,
I had no idea.
It?
The clutch. 100%. Yeah. With the clutch and everything, I had no idea. I just thought, why would you have a car where why can't it just all be auto? And then obviously learn over time, and then obviously can do it now. Sometimes when I'm in the Raptor, your car would have as well. You can go manual mode. There's obviously no clutch or anything, but you can just change it to the revs. And I do that a couple of times. But yeah, first time I tried after driving auto for so long, I just couldn't believe it. How just beyond me how I could learn how to drive this thing, because it was just that hard.
Well, I feel like these days everyone just goes auto because you can just get that license tick over as soon as you get your full license. So it's a bit of a loophole, I guess you could call it.
There's a loophole in the system.
Well, potentially. Maybe they should look at that. There you go.
Maybe take it up.
Good way to finish.
Is it called Queensland Roads? What's it called up there?
Queensland
It's Vic Roads here.
Yeah, it's Vic Roads. I think it's Queensland Transport up here. But anyway, all good ads. All the best this week, mate.
All good.
Big grand final.
You too,
we'll
mate.
be cheering you on. And we'll see you next week, hopefully with some silverware.
Well, hope so. See you, mate.
All the best, mate. See ya. All the best this week, mate.
All good.
Big grand final.
You too,
we'll
mate.
be cheering you on. And we'll see you next week, hopefully with some silverware.
Well, hope so. See you, mate.
All the best, mate. See ya.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Brooks Blooms, your all-in-one landscaping solution.
Brooks Bloom's 3-step landscaping experience offers a seamless journey from design to construction and ongoing care, ensuring your outdoor space thrives year-round.
Visit brooksblooms.com today to embark on your landscaping journey, where every step is a step towards a vibrant and beautiful outdoor entertaining space.